let's unravel the story of Romania, a land where myth and history dance in the shadow of the Carpathians, and where every castle seems to whisper an ancient secret. Welcome to Map Your Mind. Travel through the world with your brain. Romania isn't just the birthplace of Dracula or a picturesque land of medieval towns and foggy forests. It's a place where Dacian warriors once stood against Roman legions, where empires collided, and where resilience is practically carved into the stones of its ancient monasteries. It's a country shaped by invasion and independence, by myth and modernity, and it's every bit as fierce as it is fascinating. Where Dacians and Romans first drew the map, long before Romania was, well, Romania, it was the land of the Dacians. These were mountain people, bearded and battle-hardened. They carved fortresses into rocky peaks and worshipped their gods in sacred groves. When the Romans showed up in the early 2nd century, led by Emperor Trajan, they saw not just enemies, but a prize. And they got it. After 2 brutal wars, the Romans conquered Dacia and turned it into a province. They brought roads, cities, language, and culture. But they didn't stay forever. By the 3rd century, Rome pulled out, and Dacia slipped back into the wild, becoming a crossroads for migrating tribes and hungry empires. But here's the cool part. The Latin language stuck. Even today, Romanian is a Romance language, a distant cousin of Italian and French spoken in a sea of Slavic tongues. The age of principalities and fierce freedom. By the Middle Ages, Romania wasn't one unified country, it was 3, Wallachia, Moldavia, and Transylvania. Each region had its own rulers, alliances, and enemies. They fought off Mongols, made deals with the Hungarians, and stared down the mighty Ottoman Empire. And then came one of Romania's most iconic figures, Vlad, yes, that Vlad, the guy who inspired the Dracula legend. He ruled Wallachia in the 15th century with an iron fist and a knack for terrifying his enemies into submission. Was he brutal? Definitely. But to many Romanians, he was also a nationalist hero, a symbol of defiance in a region constantly under threat. Meanwhile, Transylvania was often under Hungarian or Habsburg control. It became a cultural and religious mosaic: Catholics, Orthodox, Protestants, and Jews living in tight, fortified towns surrounded by green hills and Saxon walls, under empire and eyeing freedom. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Romania was largely squeezed between 2 giants, the Ottoman Empire to the south and the Austro-Hungarian Empire to the west. But the seeds of nationalism were sprouting. Poets, scholars, and revolutionaries started dreaming of a unified Romania. After revolts, diplomacy, and battles, Wallachia and Moldavia merged in 1859, forming the foundation of modern Romania. By 1877, Romania had declared full independence from the Ottomans. Then came World War I, a seismic shift that saw Romania fighting for the Allies. And when the dust settled, Transylvania joined the Romanian fold in 1918, giving the country the shape it has today. Turbulent times, kings, coups, and communism. The 20th century was anything but calm. First came monarchy and political instability. Then World War II, where Romania's alliances shifted like quicksand. Initially, Romania sided with Nazi Germany under a fascist regime, but as the tides turned, the country switched sides and joined the Allies in 1944. But peace didn't bring freedom. The Soviets were in town, and by 1947, Romania was a communist republic. Until Nicolae Ceausescu, dictator, who turned Romania into one of the most repressive regimes in Eastern Europe. He built massive monuments while the people went hungry, silenced critics, and tried to shape a personality cult in the age of Cold War fear. But in 1989, the people had enough. The Romanian Revolution was fast and furious. Ceausescu was overthrown and executed, and democracy finally got its moment. Modern Romania, between tradition and transformation. Today, Romania is part of the EU and NATO, blending medieval charm with digital ambition. It's the land of cobblestone villages and bustling cities, of folk dances and high-speed internet. Bucharest, often called Little Paris in the early 1900s, pulses with a unique energy. And the countryside, still dotted with haystacks, horse carts, and wooden churches that feel frozen in time. But Romania is more than its past. It's rising, reclaiming its story, its culture, and its place on the world stage. Fun fact, Romania is home to the world's heaviest building, the Palace of the Parliament in Bucharest. Built by Ceausescu, it's bigger than the Pentagon and took over 20,000 workers to construct. It's opulent, eerie, and totally surreal, just like the history that shaped it. So next time someone says Dracula, don't just think of vampires and castles. Think of Dacians and emperors, revolutionaries and poets, mountain villages and city protests. Romania is a land of layers, ancient, haunting, and utterly unforgettable. Stick around, there's always more to explore, right here on Map Your Mind. Where to next?